concentrate here is the first person whom the angel appeared was to the shepherd. Now we can learn two things from this. Jesus, the God himself, humbled. ఆయన తగ్గించుకొని ఆ యొక్క పరలోకాన్ని వదిలి ఈ యొక్క ఎర్త్ ఈ యొక్క భూమిపైకి వచ్చి ఉన్నాడు. He has humbled himself. There is no need for him to come from that heavenly place. అక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చి ఇక్కడికి రావడానికి అవసరం లేదు. But God has humbled himself. ఆయన తగ్గించుకొని ఈ యొక్క మరి ప్రపంచంలోకి రావడం జరిగింది. అయితే మీరు if you look at Luke 2, if you continue Luke 2 chapter 8, Luke 2 verse 8, it says, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in field, keeping watch over flock by night. Now again, what God is telling here is his maneuvers are not mine. His thinking is not my thinking. My ways are different, his ways are different. And his policies are different, my policies are different. He's totally different. You cannot understand what God has a plan for you. Now he has told the shepherds, he has given that chance to the shepherd. Now why can't a priest? Why can't a king? Why can't somebody else? Now I don't know whether you know about this shepherd or not. It says here, they are considered the lowest people. They are not even touched by the priests because the way the duty, the jobs they do. Even in Psalms 92, it does say shepherds are being despised. Anta takkuva jati ani cheppukovachu. Alanti variki, to those people God has given a privilege. So which means he has humbled himself and given a privilege to these people to spread the word. What a wonderful God we have. What a wonderful thing that is. Let me give more information on these shepherds. So they are considered outcasts socially. They were poorly paid. The religious people were forbidden to buy wool, or milk or meat for them. Certain civic practices were debarred from them, and functions such as judge or witness in the court. And in fact, people were to withdraw from a shepherd in the same sense as they would withdraw from a tax collector. That was the pathetic situation of these shepherds. But why did God choose these people? In Luke chapter 1 and verse 51, he hath shewed strength with his arm. He hath scattered the proud in the imagination of our hearts. He has put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of a low degree. He hath filled the hungry with good things, and rich he hath sent empty way. So you can understand why God has chosen shepherds here in this context. Well, if you look at James 22:5 says, hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen poor for this world, rich in faith? So it's not that rich people, but he has chosen the ultimate, the lowest people to spread his word. That the good news that Jesus is born. And is that not? Do you know what I am going to tell you? These shepherds had more insight and understanding of Christ than those people who as theologians and the professors and all those people. They didn't have that insight whereas these shepherds had. They recognized God was speaking and they hastened to see the king. Now we sang this song, the first song, that the shepherds were, as soon as they received the message, they went and they spread the message that Jesus was born. Isn't that our responsibility? Isn't that our priority to spread this word to all nations? I commend UKTAC for organizing this and making this as an aspect to spread the gospel, which is very, very commendable. And the second aspect, so firstly, he has humbled himself, he has chosen the shepherd, and secondly, the reason why the shepherd were told is that they are God's messengers to reflect his message. They are God's messengers to reflect his message. In verse 10, fear not, for behold, I bring good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. What God is saying to them here in the whole chapter through Luke is, I can do work through either directly or indirectly through the people. Now if you remember, Mary was not there in Bethlehem. She was all the way, had to travel. Why was she supposed to be traveling? Because Caesar Augustus has issued a decree. Now God has used this man who was unknowingly has issued a decree to allow this lady to travel all the way. And the same way, he has directly chosen shepherds to preach or spread this gospel. I can do work through indirectly high and lofty people in human empires like Caesar Augustus. I can work indirectly through or directly with the people who are meek and lowly. What a wonderful God we have. So, therefore, I would like to tell you that behold, I evangelize, it's not saying fear not, behold, I bring you good tidings. What it does say is, behold, I will evangelize. Which means we are going to spread the word. The shepherds were supposed to be spreading the word. And so likewise, you and me are supposed to be spreading the word that has given to us. This is our responsibility to spread the word. So therefore, I appeal to you, all of you, individually, personally, and to not to fear, but go and witness that Jesus is born to save you and me. Do you fear today anything? Why should we fear when we have the grace of God? Can I leave you with, can I ask you with the challenge? Can I leave you with that challenge? Saying that, would you and me take that responsibility of preaching this word, telling the whole nation, whole world, that God, Jesus, was sent to this world to save you and me? Is there anything that is hindering us to take up this responsibility? Now, I would like to share with you an experience. I have been to India very recently, in the month of July or somewhat in August. I met my friend, and he's a very good friend of mine. So when we were talking, I heard that he was very well. And I personally went to meet him all the way from Vijayawada to Kakinada. So I met him, I saw him, and he's not as he was supposed to be. Well, I was very sorry for him. Then I was talking to him. During the time of conversation, he has expressed himself. He narrated the whole story. I'm not going to narrate the whole story, but I'm going to give you a gist of it. Now, this guy, this friend of mine, is a very strong person. He's an athlete. He plays shuttle, badminton, he plays all the sport. He's a very strong, well-built man. And this person, he works in a government job. He has a very good post. He was holding a very good post, and he was working for the government. And when I met him, he said, "Well, William, I should really tell you what has happened." Then he started telling me that when he went to work, he was perfectly all right. And then suddenly, the second day, he went to work and he felt somewhat giddy. And then he went home and he was lying on his bed. And suddenly he didn't know what has happened. He couldn't lift his hand, he couldn't lift his leg, he was totally paralyzed. He couldn't walk. Nothing was working. Not even if somebody pinches him, nothing was working. Then he realized something wrong with him. He called his friends, then said,